I think the one thing that I can say to that, the worst advice I ever got was to move away from LA.
Good one.
Yes.
Good one.
In media, radio specifically a lot, which is what I can speak to, but I know like people do this in your line of work as well. They're like, oh my God, hey, go to New York or like go to Miami and like be the host in Miami or whatever. But that was just not, I would say prioritize where you want to spend your life and where you feel your best, no matter what other people are telling you. I was recommended to go be on air in Charlotte and then Miami. And that was like like looking at it now, I know it was supposed to happen. I'm very into like, okay.
And people do say that. They say go to a small market, like build your big name. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was I was so depressed. It was the same thing as you. It was like, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. This is not where I'm supposed to be. It just felt so unaligned. But do you think there's like a moment in your life and career where you're supposed to really feel unaligned to get you back?
Maybe, to get you back. Yeah. I just feel like, to your point, like so often they say come to LA as a big fish, right? Mm-hmm. But I completely agree with you that that's the wrong thing. You can come here as a complete nobody and still make it. You do not need to like build yourself in some quote unquote smaller pond and then come here. I don't align with that advice. And I also don't align with the advice when people want to take a reset.
Yeah.
Like every time I've lived in LA that somebody I know has been like, hey, I just need to go back to Oklahoma for a second. I'm sorry, Oklahoma. I don't know why I threw you in there.
People are from
maybe
there.
Because you have the lowest education rates in the country, and y'all all voted for Trump every single county. Sorry, I don't know why I just decided to attack Oklahoma. But bye, y'all.
Hey.
Anyways, I've had people say, I'm going to move back to this state or this state just to see family, take a second. I need a reset from LA. I just need They never come back.
Yeah, but
they never come back.
I see that though. It's like, well, okay, that's where you're supposed to be then. Like if you needed to leave, then you were always supposed to stay, I think, back where you're from. And I think the people that stay in LA, because I think...
Or New York
or whatever big city. I think LA is magical. I think it's a magical city.
A perfect city. I love it.
Full of magical people, and it's wonderful. But I do think people fall into the wrong crowds, and I think that people get into very small circles and then look around and wonder why things aren't working out. And it's the whole thing. It's like wherever you go, there you are. Like you're not going to be a different person just because you're in a different city. If anything, the new city is going to show you the things that you need to work on in life.
Okay, Brooke.
And if you're not able or willing to get to that point where you're working through the stuff, the shadow work, basically.
Yeah.
The new city is going to feel like this city sucks, the dark cloud over LA, everybody is horrible, the industry is bad, all those other things that people tell you. I haven't seen that. I mean, I've seen like a few bad people, but I've seen bad people in every city that I've lived in. So
this is true.
I don't know. It depends on, I think, your goals. It depends on where you want to spend your time, your future, what you see for yourself, and that's it. But if you find yourself like, oh my God, all my friends are going to the same 3 bars.
Or you just, like you said, it's about building a tribe. Like if you're just surrounding yourself with bad people, if they're weird people, because there are awful people in LA. I think there's awful people in every city in the world. But yes, does this city have a lot more leeches and bloodthirsty people? Sure. But find good people because they exist. And if you surround yourself with those type of people, then you'll find your community, you'll find your way here. And I feel like a lot of people just don't find their way.
Exactly.
They get a little lost.
Tetris.
Yes.
Working at Billboard, do you think it is better to like your first song be super viral and super popular, or is that setting you up for failure?
I love it. Nope. I think come out of the gate swinging. I think those are the bigger talents. I love when a person has a massive #1 hit right out of the gate. It sets them up. It gets them the platform that they need. And then, you're constantly trying to top that. But then if you're good, you will.
Okay.
And you'll be consistent. I think that whole like scared of a one-hit wonder thing doesn't make sense because to me, if you can get that one hit and you can't sustain a career after that, that's on you.
Ooh, I'm going to ask you about a very specific case.
Oh, God.
What do you think about Normani's career?
Okay. She doesn't have the hit necessarily. Okay. She has some decent top 10s.
Motivation was a hit in my house, but go on.
Motivation was a strong hit in my house. But when I say top 10 records, obviously the Sam Smith record and the Khalid record.
Yes.
Those two are
Love
bona
Lies.
fide actual hits, right?
Yeah.
Normani, to me, isn't struggling by the way of her talent at all. The girl is super talented. I think she's struggling with sound. And I think it's, how can I say this? I think that the music she wants to make is more niche than the audience she built.
Ooh.
So if you think about the fans she gained from Fifth Harmony, from being a pop girly, from being in the scene, that's like a more general public, poppy world. She makes good R&B music. She makes more hip-hop leaning music. That music, I'm not going to say isn't successful, but it's very rare, even when you're talking about massive R&B artists like Coco Jones or Victoria Monet. Like, they don't get Hot 100 number ones even.
Yeah.
So that market is
Yeah.
just a smaller audience.
Yeah.
And she just has committed, which I support, to like, this is what I want to make. This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
I feel like if Homegirl went in the studio with freaking some major pop producers, I think the career she wants would be right there at her feet.
Do you think there's still time to like turn that around?
I think absolutely if she wanted to.
If she wanted to.
But I think every time she puts out music, I listen to it and I go, this is what she wanted to make. I bet there's somebody in the label or on her team that's like, ooh, sliding her tracks from like other producers. And she probably is like, I don't want to do that.
What do you think about the whole thing where people think that she's waited too long in between projects?
Well, I think I'm not gonna curse. I think F them, because like she went through some personal stuff. She went through death in her family. She's been through personal things, and she has admitted that making the music was hard for her because she was so committed to what she wanted to make.
Yeah.
So I think, and again, that could be an argument as well. Sometimes artists get really into their artistic expression and what they want to do, and sometimes that's not what their fans want or what their label wants. We've seen that happen a lot of times.
True.
So I think sometimes you can feel like a prisoner of your own career if people are wanting something from you that you don't necessarily want to give. But I do admire her sticking true to herself, and I do want success for her.
I do too. I've really enjoyed her music, and anytime Motivation comes on, I'm reminded of that. But Love Lies too, like is one of my favorites of all time.
But also, to your point,
Dancing
Motivation
with a
was a
Stranger.
bop.
Yeah.
Motivation was a bop. The music video was a bop. Her performance at the MTV VMAs was great.
Yeah.
If she stayed in that lane, girl, hell, I would have been front row at every show.
But I will say, Dancing with a Stranger and Love Lies are two of my favorite songs to sing alone in the shower. And that means a lot to me. So I think she's wonderful. And this does have to be a quick episode. Last question.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it's Tetris's fault. Always.
I'm the worst.
It's okay. Follow him on Instagram. It's TetrisBish. No, but Anna Kendrick.
Oh, God. Okay, so
Her red carpet answers.
I gotta say, I'm not. My friends like to call me, just good old white girl, basic bitch over here.
Yeah.
I'm not as into the drama. I'm not as clued in as I think I should be.
I kind of am.
So, and I know a lot of people in my life are, and I'm like, why did this one miss me? Like everything, I know a little bit. I keep getting nuggets of it here and there of the Blake Lively. Jason is his name? What's the guy?
Justin Baldoni.
Justin.
I was like, who is Jason?
See, this is how bad I am at it.
Yeah.
Justin,
who is
him, and her, and their stuff. Okay, I'm kind of up to date, but I do know where people don't like one or the other.
Right.
Right?
It's very
That's
split.
a big polarizing thing. And then, but Homegirl's got to move with Anna Kendrick. This I know. And they appeared on the red carpet at South by Southwest.
They did.
Now, I am not mad at Anna Kendrick. And this is why. It's not her drama.
It's not.
And it's her movie, and she wants to promote it. Well, how do you handle that?
Right.
When you have this PR nightmare in your film with you.
Yeah.
And Blake, who is deciding not to be like, oh, let me like let it breathe, how they tried to make Homegirl from Amelia Perez sit her ass back in Spain.
Right.
She's not trying to like stay on the sidelines.
Right.
Blake is like, I'm at the carpet. What's up?
Yeah,
What's good?
yeah.
It's like, girl, you could have zoomed in.
Oh, you think she
maybe.
should have like stayed home a
Yeah,
little bit?
but
Okay.
like, it's too hot right now. The streets is too hot on her.
I agree.
So I'm not mad at Anna for her response. I just think there's not much you can do with it, and she's a funny girl. She's kind of always been sassy and a little,
And as an interviewer yourself and somebody who is asking the questions a lot of the time, what do you think about, is it inappropriate for them to be asking questions right now about her relationship with Blake? Is that something you would ask?
I would be told probably I should ask.
Ooh,
I would think I should ask.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, okay, as a journalist, I should try to get something. There's something here. I don't like making people feel like they're in a gotcha moment.
We were just talking about that with Liz Hernandez. Listen to the last episode, everybody.
So I think my approach would just be to try to find a way to, as I say, like put it on others to and ask for the sake of them. Because I think a lot of times as a host, you come directly from you. Mm-hmm. And if you can take yourself out of the situation and say, okay, Anna.
Yeah.
I'm tired of scrolling through my IG and seeing Blake this, Blake that, Justin this, Justin that. It's too much for me. Is it too much for you? Like, do you care about all the drama? Are you reading it?
Okay.
Like, I'm just like, girl, I don't know either.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like taking it off of me and making it lighthearted and being like, this is a crazy situation you're in. How are you dealing with it?
Would you expect her to respond differently to that kind of question? Or would it probably be the same thing, like, what are you talking about? And then run away?
I mean, if she did the what are you talking about and she run away, I'd be like, well, y'all, I tried. That's all you can do. You'd be like, listen, I tried. I wouldn't be mad at her for it, like I said, because it's not her drama.
Yeah. But technically, is it considered your job? Like if your boss tells you this is what I want from you, would you need to ask? To some extent, even if you wanted to try to get around it, is that like your responsibility then to ask?
I don't think anybody at my personal outlet that I work for would make me ask anything. No, I don't think that we don't have that kind of a situation at Billboard. But I do think you have to listen to your superiors, and I do think, you know, as again, throwing back to yes, this is entertainment, but it is journalism. So as a journalist, if there's a story there, you should be trying to get it.
Okay.
Just not messy. Just don't be messy, y'all.
Just don't be messy. But I do love her answers, or like her kind of response. I do appreciate the like, what? And then running away.
Yeah.
I think it's perfect, and she always has been like super funny. So I wanted to get your opinion.
Well, you
on
don't
that.
want to be Ariana Grande. When she,
what did she
I'm sorry,
do?
I have to go. But in the art when she was doing the Mark Malkin interview at the Oscars, and he asked her about when her deluxe album was coming out, and she just did a funny like, I can't talk about it. Oh my God, what are you talking about? Deluxe album? And she was like, I'm sorry. And she literally went like, I went to the and she named a place that actually exists, and they erased my memory. She's like, they erased my memory. I don't know what happened. They erased my memory. And he kind of kept pushing her.
Yeah.
And then it went super viral in like conspiracy theory Twitter of like, oh, the Hollywood elite are erasing people's memories. And I was like, y'all, she's just being funny.
Right.
And I think that's what a lot of celebrities, when they get in these situations where they don't want to answer a question, the new thing is like, I'm not going to be rude on camera or have my publicist come in and chop you, but I'm going to be like, oh, what are you talking about? Bye.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways.
All right. Last thoughts for the week.
Last thoughts for the week. I just want to say I want to take it back to the beginning of the conversation and say that Teddy Swims, his song Lose Control has been in the Billboard Hot 100 for a crazy, crazy amount of weeks. It's going to become one of the longest running Hot 100 songs of all time. And that is a great example of a song that is everywhere, that stays everywhere, that's still in the top 10 for all these weeks. And I'm not tired of, and I think talent, you know, again, stick to your guts. I've known Teddy for so freaking long before he had all this attention and hits and Grammy attention. So again, back to just believe in yourself, put your art out, and then one day you have a song like Lose Control.